All right. Well, we'll get started then. Welcome everyone to our first ever virtual annual meeting. Really want to thank everybody for taking a few minutes this evening to participate. It's a bit of a different process than what we're used to, but I'm sure many of you can relate to that within your everyday lives as well. So the bright side is that I think it gives a lot more of our members a chance to participate and learn a little bit more about what the board has been working on, but it makes some other things a little more challenging. So as we get started here, I think everyone's doing a great job of it, but just a reminder to have yourself on mute. So to prevent any feedback and that sort of thing as we go throughout. And I'll call on different board members and so forth as we go through to give reports from our various committees and to talk about some of the things we've been working on. So again, welcome everybody. Thank you for participating this evening. And with that, we'll go ahead and get started. Many of you I know, there's up on the screen now is a list of all of the directors of the association from last year. And so I'll be calling on them, but just I think, you know, your District 1 directors now, this is the, yeah, go ahead, Matt, you can switch that. So we just had elections and some new directors. And so I'll welcome some new board members, Matt Wolf, Jeff Bauman, Bill Zwire, our new members. And you'll see that we have a vacancy now in District 3 as Gary Hoskins has decided to resign from the board. And so we'll talk about that in a little bit. Also, I should have thanked our outgoing board members, Blair Sumi and Brett Henderson and Tom Burke going off the board, and also now Gary Hoskins. So I'm going to publicly thank them for their efforts to work on behalf of the association. So with that, we'll move to the next slide. And turn it over to Amanda for a secretary's report.
Yep, sorry about that. There's a little bit of delay on my end. Just a second, I'm multitasking, letting people in while I speak, so give me a second here. So this year, I'll report registration numbers. We registered 4,561 sheep. That's down a little under 600 compared to last year. And we transferred 1834, which is down 73. So our registrations with COVID, we anticipated that that was going to be challenging for us. But I will say that the transfers ended up being pretty good for the year. I will note that some of those transfers are due to flock dispersals, but it's really great to see that those sheep are getting transferred. That's really important because we find that if that doesn't happen right away at that dispersal, generally those sheep will never be transferred if the papers are just handed over. So that does feed into that number a little bit. This year with COVID, we did have some webinars that had some really good attendance. Generally, we have between 50 and 120 attendees on our webinars. These webinars are via Zoom and Facebook Live. And this year we had a webinar in January, actually, or in April, the juniors were in charge of that webinar, and that was on lamb selection with Lance Miller with Purina. In May, we had a webinar on nutrition and ewe flock management. Dr. Dan Moracle with Premier One was our speaker on that. In June, the Breed Improvement Committee put together a webinar on parasite resistance and susceptibility. The speaker on that was Dr. Andrew Weaver from North Carolina State. And then our last webinar for the year was an enterprise analysis webinar. Philip Berg with Minnesota Lamb and Wool was the host with that. And with any of those webinars, those are all archived. Several of them have their PowerPoints put up on our website, and they are available for you to watch at any time. The videos are mostly on YouTube that you can look at those that way. Just some other notes. A lot of our members have really taken advantage of some of our free advertising for your flocks. One being our Suffolk Marketplace on suffolks.org, our association website. That's free for any members to post an ad. And then the very popular marketplace that is free for all members is the Facebook Suffolk Marketplace. We have about 1,500 individuals on that page, which is really phenomenal that's grown. And we see a lot of activity on that. And so we encourage members, if that's something that you're not familiar with or comfortable with, feel free to call me and I'd be more than happy to step you through how to post on there, because that's what I encourage people to do is sell through there. You get sheep sold pretty quickly. So that's nice. Some other things that I wanted to talk about. We do have the website banner ads that are on our website. Those are pretty inexpensive methods of advertising, and you can do it anywhere from a month to 6 months to a year. And with that ad, it's a click away ad. So we can click individuals to a sale you're having, to your Facebook page, to your website, wherever you want individuals to go to learn more about your flock. With that, I think that's about it in terms of my report. I am going to share with you, sorry again for the delay here, our registrations by state this year. It looks like the top registered states were Iowa, South Dakota, Pennsylvania were the top 3. This report is on our website. It's posted already. So if you want to take a look at that more closely, you're more than welcome to open that up. And then registrations by members. This is the top 20 registrations by members. You can see that list. And again, this is also posted on our website as well for you to look at if you want to look at this further. With that, I am going to turn it over to Catherine Parsley for the USSA report.
Amanda, we have the treasurer's report slide up. Or are you going to forward through to Catherine's slide?
Sorry about that. Let's go into time. I'm sorry.
Okay. I'll call next on our outgoing treasurer, Tom Burke, to talk a little bit about a treasurer's report. Tom, are you on?
I'm trying to unmute him. Let's see if he can get the phone unmuted.
Tom, you're on mute. If you can unmute yourself, otherwise Amanda's working on it.
We are not having success with Tom.
All right, I guess I'll fill in, and Amanda, you can help me then with this as well.
Yep.
So just a couple of things with the treasurer's report. Obviously, as Amanda mentioned earlier, you know, with everything that's happened with COVID and everything else, and many of our major shows and sales and other things being canceled or switching to virtual, you know, made us really nervous in terms of how we would do for our budget. And actually, when all was said and done, we came out better off than we were fearful might happen. We did obviously end up operating at a loss, but not nearly at the levels we were afraid could happen. We do, however, you know, if you look at the trends and the declining membership and registrations, that you know, we've got some serious issues to address, and the board has been working on that for the last several years and will continue to do so moving forward. And so as you will be constantly having discussions with our board and with our membership on how we can reverse some of these trends and look at other revenue sources to keep our organization going strong. The bright side on the treasurer's report is our investment fund. Despite everything that happened, our investment fund grew by what is that, about 15,000 or more than that over the course of the year, and so that's good news. And there will be a end of the year financial summary posted on the website at suffolks.org. So just a little bit about that. and we'll move on to the next topic.
And I think actually Tom just jumped on.
Okay.
Tom,
Tom, anything to add?
The fact that
whoops. Tom, I think I'm going to mute you. We're getting some feedback.
All right, a little technical difficulties
Yep.
with Tom's audio there, so we'll skip on to the next slide.
All right, Catherine, now it's your turn. Did we lose Catherine?
Catherine there, or is she on mute?
Oh, here I am.
There she is.
Okay, so I'm going to go over to begin with just our current board so everybody can be familiar with who we have next year. So I am the president currently. I'm from Indiana. Our vice president is Ty Schullerman. Our secretary is Creed Harker. Our treasurer is Savannah Bailey, and our board member is Joey Slack. And so that's our board. Everybody's been working really hard this year. We've made a lot of progress and been doing a lot of great things, I think, and I think we have a lot of things planned for the next year as well. So one of those things is a new logo that we've actually developed over these past few months. We've gone back and forth on it, but I think we've found something that we all like. So you guys can kind of see it there in the bottom right corner that we've developed. So our next event that we did, or contest that we did, was a photo contest where we had a lot of submissions. And so we picked 12 of those photos, and we're currently creating a calendar to be able to have. I know we don't have that quite yet, but we'll have those very soon. So stay tuned for that. Next, we did a t-shirt contest where we had a winner that their design will be on a t-shirt that we have. Those will go out to the junior members that participate at Louisville, as well as I think we might have those for sale or for people to have. So that will be really nice. And then something that's coming up for the year to kind of round out what we're doing, we will be doing a December webinar, and that will be the topic of lambing preparation. So we will have more information about that on our social media coming out later, closer to the date. That'll be like the second week of December, I think. So keep on the lookout for that. The last few things that I had to say before Nancy, you can jump in if you'd like to, is I just want to thank everybody for supporting the junior board so much, and the senior board and all of our breeders and everything for being invested in what we do, because it's really important that you guys support us. So just thank you for that.
Thank you, Catherine. Nancy, anything to add?
Yeah, I don't know if my camera's gonna pop on or not. But I just wanted to again reiterate what Catherine said as far as the support from not only the senior board but also from the membership. Last year we tried something new with our sponsorship. We did do the sponsorship tiers. It was a big learning curve, but we had a lot of really good response. And so we are going to go forward with that again this year. I guess one of the good things or one of the bad things, I guess it depends on if you're one of those that looks at the glass is half full or half empty. With the cancellation of the All-American Junior Show this year, we had already paid for our show. And so we were able to roll that over into this upcoming year. And so that technically, the 2021 show has technically already been paid for. So that takes a little bit of relief off of us financially, but we still need that support, that financial support from our sponsors. And so I also know the juniors have been working on getting their slides prepared for the different levels so we can start putting them out on Facebook, on our Facebook page and on our Instagram page, thanking those that all sponsored this past year. And unfortunately, with the way Louisville is going this year, we won't be able to do that face-to-face contact that we really like to have the juniors do with our sponsors. So we'll be talking about that at our December meeting as far as going forward and start making phone calls and sending out letters. So please, if one of the juniors reaches out to you and unfortunately misses you and leaves a message, please take the time to give them a call back. That's really, really important in doing so. And same with, if you get a letter, hopefully you will be generous enough to return it with a sponsorship. As I said, even though the show next year is technically already paid for, there's still a lot of other activities the group has planned that they want to go forward with. And hopefully we will be able to have our annual meeting next year as well at the show. The show is slated for being in Illinois next year. So hopefully with this whole COVID thing, like I said, we'll still be able to have that. I do have a meeting with the All-American coming up the end of this month. That will be a conference call. And so anything new that I learn, I will definitely be passing on to everybody. But if you have any questions or you already know you want to sponsor any of the junior going forward into next year, you can contact any one of our junior reps, any of our junior board members, or myself, and we will be happy to get that sponsorship from you. So thank you.
All right, thank you, Nancy, and thank you, Catherine. And I would also add from our senior board that we've made a commitment to have much better communication, and both myself and the chair of our youth committee have made it a priority to participate in as many of the junior board meetings as we can. And we also invite all of the junior board members to participate in our senior board meetings. And we've had multiple junior members on almost every call. So things are looking up, and we look forward to a good year. So Catherine, you can continue next with the clean report.
Hello again. So I don't have a whole lot to report for my Queen report this year. I just kind of wanted to highlight how thankful I am for serving as the Queen for the last 2 years. It's been an honor to represent the association and be a part of this. I've had so much fun meeting new people and connecting with breeders and everyone that's involved with Suffolk's, because I truly believe that our breed is phenomenal, and I'm so glad to be a part of it and representing it. I just want to thank you to the Queen Committee, to Tom Burke, Amanda, Jeremy, the senior board. Thank you for all of your support and everything that you've done for me in these last 2 years, because I couldn't have done it without your support. And thank you for all the encouragement from everyone else. I love being at all of the shows and being a part of it. And I'm definitely not going to stay away from that at all. But I just wanted to thank everybody for that. And I hopefully we can keep continuing the program in the future, because I think it's great to have ambassadors and to have young people who are interested in the breed and representing it as well. So
Thank you, Catherine. Next, foundation report. And Brenda, or is that Bill? Bill.
There we go.
There we go.
There you go.
Thank you. This is a learning curve. Thank you. The foundation was formed about a year ago. This is a not-for-profit charitable foundation. And we set goals for ourselves. Our goals are to support youth education research within the Suffolk breed and the United States sheep industry. We set the goal to raise $10,000 within the first year and $50,000 for these causes within the first 3 years. And we felt those were pretty lofty goals. and we've had some great success. Our programs are scholarships, and we gave 3 scholarships under this program this year. Our ULAM giveaway, and that's been very, very successful. We've had 80 applications submitted this year, and the winners, I think, have been selected, not announced yet, but those will be announced here within this month. So this is an exciting program to get more youth involved in the Suffolk program. And then the third thing we added was the Entrepreneurs Fund, and this idea came at our meeting we had down in Louisville last year from one of the members of the Suffolk Breeders. This is open to anyone with an idea or a way to promote, educate, advancement of the Suffolk breed, or the role of Suffolk breed in the larger sheep industry. So we're excited about that. And if you want more information on that, it's pretty well spelled out on our website, which is within the general USSA website. For fundraising this year, we had 18 donors give $8,581. I guess that's just a little bit different than there, but within $50 anyway. We had 1 whole flock donated, and this was a part of an estate. We also set up online giving, and that's on the website. You can click I want to give, or where you want to give it, and it's very straightforward, so we're excited about that. We had plans for a major fundraiser at Louisville, and of course those have been canceled because of everything that's happened. So our primary emphasis this year has been on getting the word out to our membership and supporters for the opportunities of the foundation. So it's been a challenging year, but we consider it a very successful year, and getting information out to everyone has been one of our big goals this year, and we've done that through the internet and through mailings we've had. So, any questions? I guess everybody's muted, so nobody can probably ask me many questions. So, I do want to put a challenge out there to everybody, and we've got this coming out in a letter. As I mentioned, everything has been canceled for Louisville, and so we're challenging everyone to consider making a donation to the foundation based on at least a part of, or maybe a significant part of, what you would have spent if you go to Louisville or if you went to a major show this year. And you could, in your heart, you decide what you can give, but even if anything you give is going to help this foundation. So if you don't feel like you want to give what it would have cost you to go to Louisville, consider what it would have cost you for one nice hotel or one really good meal out. So I'll challenge everybody online to consider doing that, and we look forward to success with this. Thank you.
Thanks, Bill. And just to clarify, if there are folks who do have some questions or comments, we are going to have a little time at the end. I'm not sure, it may be too cumbersome, so I'll kind of talk about it at the end. But if you have some things that come up or some questions, there is a chat feature, or you can just kind of write that down and keep that in the back of your mind for the end of the meeting. So
thanks, Jeremy. And maybe if you just have a general question, send it to me or give me a call or email. Thank you.
Thanks, Bill. Next slide, please. So here we have our scholarship recipients. I'm going to call on Cynthia to discuss that a little bit in that committee.
This is Cynthia, and I just wanted to thank the committee members that helped with the decision of these scholarships. That was Lloyd McCabe, Chuck Ream, and Angie Weingard. We were able to give out 3 scholarships instead of 2 this year because of an anonymous donor came forward and allowed us to be able to give those 3 scholarships. And the recipients were to Wesley Linky of South Dakota, Lily Skybert of Iowa, and the Let's Grow Suffolk recipient was Kimby Kimbrough of Texas.
Okay, thank you, Cynthia. Next slide. Or ULAM giveaway, is this Brett, Amanda, or are you gonna talk about this? You're muted, Amanda.
You want me to go ahead, Amanda?
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry, I couldn't get to my mute button fast enough to unmute.
All right. So one thing we've been kind of a common theme is that COVID has certainly impacted a lot of things this year. But one thing it has not really impacted, at least in my estimation, is the ULAM giveaway. We've had really good participation within this program, not only from breeders nominating or donating ewes. This year, the 2020 recipients, we want to thank Ron Alves of California, Bauman Suffolk of Missouri, Dale and Judy Dauberpool, Mint Gold Ranch there in Wisconsin, and Macaulay Suffolk there in Pennsylvania for donating lambs for the 2020 giveaway. In a second here, we're going to hear from an update from a past winner, but this year we've been ticking upward in terms of total videos submitted every year, and we had over 70 videos submitted, which I think is very encouraging. When we look at a lot of the participation and things this year, certainly they've been down as an impact of COVID. We've had, maybe it's because more people are at home and on the computer, but regardless, we've had several submissions this year, and watching the video, these kids are very inspiring. So if you have not participated in the past in terms of nominating or putting your name out there for a potential for donation for the kids that win, please consider in the future. It's a really rewarding program, to say the least. So with that, I think we have an update from a past winner here.
And I'm just going to give everybody a heads up. You might want to turn up your volume when we listen to some of these. This one is okay, but Jeremy and I troubleshooted these videos this afternoon for a while, so hopefully we got it figured out.
Hi, my name is Hannah Wernicke, and I'm from Ohio, and I was the District 4 ULAM giveaway winner in 2018. This is my ULAM Tilly, who was donated by Henderson Suffolk. These past 2 years, we've had so much fun. We've traveled to the county fair, several jackpot shows, the Ohio State Fair, the Ohio Youth Livestock Expo, the Youth Sheep Expo, the Junior All-American Sheep Show, and the North American International Livestock Exposition, where we had the honor of placing first place in the District 4 Suffolk Futurity. Because of the ULAM giveaway and because of my ULAM, I've made so many friends, experiences, and memories that will definitely last a lifetime. And my ULAM is currently expecting her first crop of lambs due at the end of January, and I'm so excited to expand my Suffolk flock from there. Good luck to all of the participants.
So I've had the opportunity to work with Hannah here in the last couple of years, and it's truly been an honor and a pleasure just to work with helping a young individual such as Hannah get started. Really inspiring. So if you have not participated, certainly encourage you guys to step forth and to help with the program. With that, I will go through and we'll announce our 2020 winners, well, 2021 winners. So from District 1, Addison Jennings is our winner, and we have her video.
And I am 12 years old, and I live in Post Falls, Idaho. This last year was my first year in 4-H. I got to show for 6 months with 2 market lambs, and when the time came for my county fair, the fun ended abruptly. I started thinking about what it would be like to show all year round. I then decided I would like to start my own breeding program so that I can raise my own market lambs and show continuously. Last year, I had 2 market lambs, one that was moderately framed and the other that was big-bodied. When I showed my lambs, I realized that I absolutely loved showing my big-bodied sheep. I learned about carcass quality and gain efficiency with these lambs, and I knew I wanted to be able to produce and raise these lambs that have high yields. I started researching breeds that were known for having large frames and matured easily, and I came across the Suffolk. I'm looking to develop a quality flock and understand the importance of excellent genetics. I believe having registered ewes from reputable breeders to be the foundation of a good program. I also believe that it takes a good and dedicated and knowledgeable stockman to bring out the best in a prospect. If selected, I promise I will do everything I can to be that stockman. I'm looking forward to starting my own breeding operation and continue to promote an established breed that is tried and true like the Suffolk. Thank you for considering me in my application.
So congratulations to Addison. She is our District 1 winner. We'll move on to District 2.
My name is Emma Gatlow and I am 9 years old. I live on a farm near Salem, South Dakota. This past year was my first year in 4-H. I bought a couple of crossbred wethers from a local breeder. I competed at the county and the state fair. I earned 3rd place in showmanship at the South Dakota State Fair. I would like to win a Suffolk breeding ewe lamb to compete and show at the local and state fair. My goal would be to get into the championship drive at the South Dakota State Fair. I deserve to be chosen with this lamb to win this lamb because I have proven to my parents and peers that I am coachable, motivated, hardworking, and dedicated to provide what is best for my breeding ewe. This year, my intentions would be to show this breeding ewe at the local and state fair. This breeding ewe would be the beginning of my show herd that I am going to be growing with the help of my parents and my 2 younger sisters. We would breed, care, and provide what is best for my breeding ewe. My future herd will help me towards my college fund, where someday I would love to be a veterinarian. Thank you. Bye.
So congratulations to Emery Gottlob from South Dakota, District 3.
My name is Maddie Anderson. I'm 14 years old, and I'm from Benson, Minnesota. I've been in 4-H for 9 years and FFA for 3. I'm currently the vice president of our 4-H club. Since kindergarten, I've exhibited Red Angus cattle, and in 2nd grade, I was given the opportunity to take care for and exhibit Suffolk lambs for our close neighbor. Since then, I've been leasing and showing sheep every year at my neighbor's. I've really enjoyed the sheep project, and I've always wanted to start my own. My parents and neighbors have encouraged me to start my own flock. I am currently thinking about taking a farm service agency loan to help purchase these sheep. However, this project would really help me to get started. I have the experiences to raise, breed, feed, and sell lambs. My hope is to secure a registered ewe lamb and begin my flock with the hopes of exhibiting this lamb in 2021 at local regional fairs and showcases. I don't plan on
congratulations
until it is a yearling, so I can hopefully exhibit this animal for more than 1 year. My neighbor has agreed to allow me to use his registered Suffolk rams to breed and act as a mentor for me if I have any questions or need help. He has also offered to assist me with record keeping, feed rations, and selecting replacements. Thank you for the opportunity to submit a video for the ewe lamb giveaway contest. Hello.
So congratulations to Maddie, and here's our District 4.
Hi, I'm Abigail Castro. I'm from East Canton, Ohio. I am 10 years old. I'm in Farmers, Fitters, and Critters 4-H Club. This is my 4th year in 4-H, and I love it. I take and show market and breeding lambs. I have a few Hampshire and Suffolk cross ewes that I bought over the years with my 4-H earnings and tour money. I'd really like to have a registered Suffolk ewe to add to my little flock here on our family farm. If I got one, I would show her at all my local jackpots and show her at my fair in Stark County, Ohio. Thank you for considering me. Take care.
So congratulations to Abigail. And this year we did something a little bit different. Not only did we have a winner from each district, but we also chose one nationally to win. And the difference is the one that wins the national ULAM giveaway has the option to choose from wherever in the U.S. So say in this instance, they're a District 1, they have the option of choosing from any of the 4 districts, anyone that has actually put forth a ULAM to donate. Those that win from the district are more confined to that district to actually choose. So there is kind of the differentiator, but by doing this, we're allowed to go ahead and offer one additional and grow the program more. So with that, we'll hear from our overall winner.
Hi, I'm Jaylene Brown and I'm 15 years young. I am from Live Oak 4-H in San Joaquin County, and this is going to be my 3rd year showing sheep. I have wanted to show sheep for 4 years now. I got a job working for a local breeder to earn money to put towards my project. I also wanted to show my parents that I wanted my dream to become a reality. As I start my 3rd year, I would really like to start my own breeding project. And being chosen to receive a Suffolk ewe would be a tremendous help, as I am responsible for fully funding my sheep projects. I would really like to start a registered Suffolk flock in order to support the registered breeds at shows throughout California, as they seem to be a dying art. My hopes for my project are to get a ewe lamb and show her at my county fair, state fair, and cow palace. I would like to then go on and breed her to continue to produce registered sheep for myself to show. As a long-term goal, I would love to be able to sell some of my sheep to other kids to continue to promote the Suffolk breed. I hope you enjoyed learning about me, and thank you for your consideration. Hi, I'm Jaylene Brown.
So congratulations to Jaylene and the other the winners from the districts. Certainly encouraging, I think, as you guys have seen. So with that, I'll turn it back over to Randy, I guess.
Great, thanks, Brett. Randy, you're up next with bylaws.
Did I successfully unmute? Can you hear me or not?
Yep, you're up.
Gee, that's amazing, because anybody that really knows me know I'm technologically unadvanced. So on our bylaws committee, there were several bylaws changes that were sent to the general membership. They all passed quite overwhelmingly. I guess we don't need a recount or go to the Supreme Court or anything. The majority of the bylaws changes were just to clean up some language and in some cases make it a little more visible for people to see some of our requirements for the different memberships and to be eligible to run for director. The major bylaw change in my mind that we'll possibly see some changes in the district layout once we get in to look at the number of memberships currently. And so instead of in the past, the districts were split up by number of sheep registered, it'll be now for memberships in those districts. So here in the next couple months, our committee will look into that and see if there will be any changes in the future on that. And I would like to really thank my committee members on this. We had a lot of meetings over the last year and a few differences of opinion, but in the end, we all agreed, and I think we ended up with a good outcome. So thanks a lot.
All right, youth committee, we'll call back on Brett again.
Yeah, sorry, I had to unmute there. Futurity program this year, unfortunately, this is a program that was impacted by COVID, certainly. It was down in terms of participation, and I think that's greatly due to the fact that we had a lot less shows. But this year we had 7 owned ewe lambs that have participated, 1 bred and owned ewe lamb, 6 owned yearling ewes, and 2 bred and owned yearling ewes. And this is, we actually changed the program this year so to allow for more of the southern circuit. So those that are down in Texas and show into February and March, where their calendar is, show calendar is definitely different than us in the Midwest. We have tried to open that up and allow for the Futurity program to more align with that. So this is ongoing. We're not to a finalized state yet. So the winner will be announced at a later date. So it's still going forth. So with that, that's all I have for the youth promotion. So.
Thanks, Brett. Who's up next? Okay, budget committee. Are we able to get Tom on yet with decent audio? It's not looking like that's a possibility. We kind of covered some of this earlier. Sorry, Matt, are you?
It says I'm unmuted.
Oh, there we go. There you go, Tom.
Okay. Well, you know, I missed the first part because my phone wasn't working properly. But, you know, I think we had really an excellent year when you think about as conservative as Amanda was in the office, that we lost just a little over $1,000. And of course, we didn't have this normal shows and have that accelerated registration and transfer. So, you know, I think basically we had a pretty good year, and I didn't get to report on our investments, but we had a nice surge here the last week. We now have $265,000 in our investment account. So our office has done a good job of staying on the budget, and I think when you look at the whole year, we've had a very successful year financially when you combine our office activities and our investment activities. I'm going to say it was a good year.
Thanks, Tom. And I would just, Tom said, it did make things a bit challenging, and there's still a fair amount of uncertainty for next year, but at least we know we made it through this year. Okay, sorry, changes again next year depending on what happens and what we're allowed to do and not do in terms of shows and sales. But I think one thing that has become obvious to the board is that we do need to look at ways to identify new revenue streams as well as adding value to membership and okay, Hall of Fame committee, Randy.
Yeah, we obviously things didn't go quite the way we wanted to have the annual Hall of Fame banquet and stuff this year, but I think we ended up with a good group of people to be inducted. I think you can see the people, Marlon Berg and his family from Minnesota, Alan Cullum from Michigan, Kim Ketchum from Illinois, Jim Pfeiffer and Kurt Berkey from Illinois, and Bill and Susan Schultz from Ohio. So because we weren't able to have our annual banquet this year, these people will all be recognized hopefully next year when things get back to normal at Louisville in November of 2021. So that's all I've got.
Randy. Breed Improvement Committee, Brenda.
Yes. Can you hear me, Jeremy?
Yep.
Okay, great. We had 12 members serving on our breed improvement committee this year, which was great. We had a very ambitious committee, and there were two priorities that were identified this year of things that the breed improvement committee wanted to work on. The first one was the whole issue of parasites and how parasites are affecting our breed. And so we put together a webinar that was held in June, and we had a very large number of people participating in the webinar. Our webinars, as Amanda mentioned earlier, are open to everyone, not just our members. But Amanda said we had a very high percentage of our members who were actually participating in this particular webinar. So I think it was a topic that was very timely and appropriate. The group also had a priority to update the breed standard, and so there was a lot of work that took place over the course of the last several months, and you can see a picture of the new breed standard format that Amanda has put together. And I know you can't really take a look at it in the slides tonight, but that has been uploaded to the website, so you can take a look at it there. And we will also be doing a print copy on down the road, but that has been completed. And so those were the two goals that the Breed Improvement Committee achieved this year.
Thank you, Brenda. Next slide, please. Online sale committee, I guess that's this year more than we intended with some of the major national sales not being able to be held. Our first sale of the year was our Futurity ULAM sale. We had $900. Then our regular open online sale, 15 lots there, averaged $890. And we were planning to possibly have a semen sale. We did not have enough entries to really have that sale, so that was canceled for this year. And it was about that time that news came out at Reno and Sedalia, Ohio canceled it. Sales were canceled. Many of the breeds went to national online sales and back-to-back nights, Rams one night and used the next. The combination of those two sales, 37 entries, averaging $956. So you can see pictured was our high seller for the year, $2,900 Ram Lamb from Shots. And then this fall, we had a bred ewe and ewe lamb sale, and we had 9 entries selling for an average of $741. So overall, it was a very good deal. The association does get a percentage of that commission on those, and yet we're still able to keep the overall commission at a very reasonable rate for consigners. The one I think really bright spot is we were able to sell a lot more rams online this year. Most years it's really difficult to do that, and perhaps obviously because there really weren't a lot of other choices this year, that people went ahead and bought some of those rams online. And so overall, I think it was very successful. So that's all I have for that. Next up is our GAP committee, and I'll call on Jim for that.
Can you hear me now?
There you go, Jim. We got you.
All righty. This year for the GAP program, we had Suffolk flocks, and that equated to 136 head. I think that's very encouraging. We adopted a permanent amnesty program here just last meeting, and that with that, in order to enroll in that, you have to send in an application, and a flock is only eligible for that. into purebreds or percentage Suffolks or the GAP Suffolks, which stands for the Genetic Acquisition Program. So I guess I would just like to encourage anyone out there that is part of the Suffolk breed and believes in to whether it's a current customer, past customer, maybe a neighbor, or anyone out there that you know exists that may have some Suffolks or Suffolk sheep that can, add something to our breed, to maybe encourage them to once again come back and use the amnesty program and become involved once again.
Thanks, Jim, for that update. And what's up next? Strategic Planning Committee. So just briefly before I touch on Strategic Planning Committee, we also have a Hospitality Committee, which Randy Dombeck chairs. But Randy lucked out this year when all of our major sales got canceled. That took away any duties or need for the Hospitality Committee for this year, but hopefully we'll have that next year. So Strategic Planning Committee was something new this year that we started just to really take a hard look at the future direction of our organization and help keep us viable into the future. And one of the things that came out of this was our needs assessment. And so I wanted to just touch briefly on that. I want to thank everyone who took time to fill that out and return that to us. We had an overwhelming response to that. As you can see, over 275, close to 300 breeders filled that out and provided us. You can see in the chat, Amanda posted the link to that survey. It's still active. So if you have not yet put in your feedback, there's still time. I think the plan is we're going to leave that up for the rest of this week so we can get any last input from our members for that. And so that's a fantastic response when you look at the average return rate for most surveys is at 15%, and we got nearly 300 folks who filled out this needs assessment. And so that's fantastic. You can also see there's, besides the chat link, if you're not familiar how to do that, it's also posted yet on our website. The Strategic Planning Committee will take a look at all of that data and summarize it, and then we'll bring that to the full board for discussion and help inform our planning as we go to the future, and also figure out the best way to communicate what we learned from that back to all the members. And so that's just a little bit about where we're at with that. It was a major undertaking. I really want to thank Brenda for putting in a lot of work. There were others that helped, but Brenda did a lot of work, and Amanda putting together questions. Brett and myself and others provided some feedback and tried to help with some editing and so forth, but especially thanking the nearly 300 sheep producers who took the time to fill it out, because that's really, really important, and we appreciate that a lot. The other thing to look at is we are exploring options for a registration software program. The one we currently use was developed privately, and the individuals who put it together are retired and not always the most responsive. And so we are considering some different options moving into the future. At this time, there's nothing concrete to really share, but note that we are exploring ways to find a new program that will hopefully add value and yet one that we can afford to adopt. And so that's what we're working on. So with that, we'll go on to the next slide. Under old business, not sure that we have anything to cover at this point for old business. So we'll move to new business. A couple things to talk about under new business. One, and I mentioned it kind of at the start, just recently, Gary Hoskins, one of our District 3 directors, resigned from the board, just not having enough time to dedicate to that. So we have a vacancy for that. Notice has gone out to all the eligible members in the district to submit their letter of interest, and then the board will take a look at those and appoint a person to fill that vacancy at a meeting here in the very near future. I think we set December 1 as the deadline for that. I don't remember exactly off the top of my head, but it'll be very soon that we'll hopefully get that filled, and we have had a couple of members express interest, so that's good. And then the other thing that I want to spend a little time on One of our fundraisers for the year is the auction of the directory ads, which typically would happen at our Hall of Fame banquet at Louisville. Obviously, that's not the case this year. So just a little background on what that is for those who maybe aren't aware or haven't been able to participate in the past. Through our agreement with printing of the directory, we get to auction off 6 of the prime ad pages as a fundraiser for the association. And so since we can't do that this year, we came up with a system to try to make this work for this year. We're going to email out to everyone kind of an explanation of how it's going to work, but we're going to kind of conduct it sort of like a silent blind bid auction, where if you're interested in purchasing one of those 6 ads, you just send in your bid. You get one bid, and it has to be above the minimum cost, which Amanda will email out. And then after the deadline is passed for that, I think we're going to give people like a week to bid. And the highest 6 bids will receive those ad spaces. And with the highest bid getting the first choice on down the line, and so forth. If there are a tie bid for whatever reason, the breeder that registers the most sheep will get the first choice of those that are tied for the bid. And if we get a lot more than 6 bids and there are folks that don't finish in the top 6, then there's still the option to purchase an ad through the regular channels when we get closer to printing of the directory. So that will happen into the spring. So hopefully that's not too confusing, but you'll get an email that kind of explains that. And if you get that and you still don't really understand how it works, obviously contact Amanda or myself, and we'll fill you in on those details. So Amanda, did I forget anything on that?
No, actually, the email just was sent, so you guys will be receiving that here in the next couple minutes.
We'll have
I
the
timed
email
it for
ready.
8:30. Hey, that's good timing, isn't it?
Yep, excellent. So with that, that's kind of the end of our presentation. Again, thank you all for participating. Just a reminder that there is in the chat a link to that survey. It's also on the website. I want to thank our outgoing board members and our current board members and our new board members for all your work. Because we don't really have a great format here for question and discussion, what I would just encourage everyone, and this is true anytime, that if you have specific questions, concerns, feedback, anything like that, either reach out to me directly. My email and cell phone are there, but also any of the 3 district board members who represent your district, reach out to us, share those concerns. We do take them all seriously. We do share them with the entire board and do our best to address them. So thanks again. We made it through in about an hour, which is usually my goal for most meetings, to keep them as close to an hour because everyone's time is very valuable. Amanda, anything else that we need to cover tonight?
Not that I can think of.
Mr. President?
Yes, Tom.
Yes, I just wanted to report some deep sadness in our Suffolk family. I was on a speaking engagement at the beginning of the weekend in Oklahoma City, and I looked in on the Andershot brothers while I was there, and they all 3 died last week. They all died of the virus. They lived together, and all 3 of them passed on. So I just wanted to share that sadness with our membership because I know they had a lot of friends, and they had a great flock of Suffolks.
Thank you, Tom. Any other board members have any final comments before we adjourn our meeting this evening? Amanda, do you have any total of how many folks we have on our meeting tonight?
We had 52, so that was really good attendance. It looks like we've got individuals from California to Vermont and Maine, so that's a fantastic turnout.
Excellent. Well, thank you everyone for participating tonight, and thank you for raising Suffolks, and stay in touch. Bye.
Thank you.
Good night, everyone. Stay safe.